what we're trying to do is to get people to look outwards and think of the people surrounding them. So rather than just focusing on ourselves and ways to help ourselves, we're trying to get people to utilize their existing networks and think about how they can use this to improve their own well-being. And not only this, think about ways that they can actually try and help other people as well. So rather than just drawing on their groups, think about how they can help them too. So basically the main idea of the social cure is to bring people back to the idea of being social animals and ultimately bring us back to what makes us human. Thank you.
Soul for soul and never a moment free.
So just why do we put things off? Psychologist Dr. Kirsty Miller says there are lots of reasons.
We can put things off because we find them too hard, you know, the sort of feeling of being overwhelmed and you just don't know where to start. Or it could be that the task that you're planning to do is actually quite unpleasant, so you don't really have any motivation to do it whatsoever.
Or just plain dull, I think, is sometimes why we put things off.
Definitely, yes. So if things are boring, then obviously you have to sort of summon together even more energy and even more motivation to actually get on with it.
Anxiety is a completely normal thing. It's a normal response. Yes. And I think that's really important for people to realise that it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you strange, you're not the only one experiencing it.
What impact can it have on us when we neglect that part of our life?
Basically, it just makes us more vulnerable. In terms of our mental health, you're more prone to things like depression. Also, interestingly enough, especially for older people, things like cognitive decline, basically your mental faculty sort of slowing down, and things like dementia as well. So obviously, when we're talking about older people, that's a very important factor that we have to take into account, is that having people around you and having these friendships is very important in terms of their psychological well-being, both in terms of how they feel themselves, but also in terms of trying to stave off the consequences of aging.
As you may or may not know, I'm kind of an expert on psychologists. I've been through a few of them in my day, but never one in Scotland. Luckily, we were able to track down a local one who could lend her expertise to our theory. Doc, you're a psychologist who is born in this area. You know, people love to come here, they love the game, but it's almost like a punishment.
Well, I guess it's kind of Everest as well, isn't it?
Oh,
you know, you want to see if you can beat it. It is definitely one of these things that you have to change your mind to view it as a challenge. You have to be ready to take it on. Because if you give it an inch, then it's going to get into your head.
This is one of the most stupid things I've ever seen in my life, I have to be honest.